This visitor comes to you, and this visitor has this beautiful face, has these fine clothes, and has this pleasant scent. So I want you to think of yourself as a parent to your deeds. You produce them, you raise them, and you have all sorts of hopes for them. The only thing is, you don't see them yet. Now, just like a parent hopes that if they live long enough, their worldly children will comfort them and benefit them when they get older, we all hope that our hereafter children will comfort us and benefit us once we make that transition. The deceased is followed to his or her grave by three things: his family, his wealth, and his deeds. So his family and his wealth turn back from the grave and they go home. And his only companion that remains with him in his new home from now on is his collection of deeds. And we know that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says about the Day of Judgment, what? يَوْمَ لَا يَنْفَعُ مَالٌ وَلَا بَنُونَ. The day that wealth and children are no longer of any benefit. From this point onwards, deeds are going to be your comfort and they're going to be your currency. It's at this point that your hereafter children are going to come to your aid for the very first time. And this is before the angels even come. The Prophet ﷺ said that when the believer is placed into their grave and they hear the final footsteps of their family leaving, the punishment comes. And as the punishment comes from above, your prayer stands up and it puts its hand up and says, "Ma qibali madkhal." You will not pass through me. So the prayer guards your head. And then the punishment comes to you from your right side. And the Prophet ﷺ said, your siyam, your fasting rises and stands guard and says, "Ma qibali madkhal." You will not pass through me. And then to his left, his zakah stands and says, "Ma qibali madkhal." You will not pass through me. And then at his feet, his sadaqah and sila, his goodness towards his family and then his community, his voluntary charity, his truthfulness, his honesty, all of those things stand guard at the bottom and say, "Ma qibali madkhal." You will not pass through me. And then it's said to him, "Sit up." And he sits up. The Prophet ﷺ said that the sun is made to appear to him as if it's about to set. Yani it's almost Maghrib. It's about to be Maghrib. So the believer is accustomed to what? You're accustomed to salah. You're accustomed to prayer. And if you wake up at an odd time, sort of disoriented, the first thing you worry about is, did I miss my prayer? So this person says, "Let me pray." And the angels say, "You'll get to that, but first you have to answer our questions. Man Rabbuk? Who is your Lord? Ma Dinuk? What is your religion? Man Nabiyuk? Who is your prophet?" And if you answer right, a voice cries out from the heavens and says, "Sadaqa abdi." My slave has spoken the truth. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala then calls out, supply him with the furnishings from Jannah. Clothe him from the clothes of paradise. Open for him a gate to paradise so that some of its fragrance comes to him in his grave. And then his grave is expanded for him as far as his eye can see. And then at that point, you are laying in the clothes of Jannah with a window to Jannah. And everything starts to feel like Jannah, starts to feel like paradise. This visitor comes to you, and this visitor has this beautiful face, has these fine clothes, and has this pleasant scent. And he says to you, glad tidings of that which will bring you happiness. This is your day which you were promised. And so the deceased says, Man ant? Who are you? فَوَجْهُكَ الْوَجْهِ يَجِيءُ بِالْخَيْرِ. That face of yours is only going to be a face that brings good news. And that person responds to you and says, أَنَا عَمَلُكَ الصَّالِحِ. I am your good deeds. Now subhanAllah, imagine what your good deeds look like all in one person. The beauty of that, bi'idhnillahi ta'ala, if you actually used to act upon that guidance from Allah. What does your Quran, your prayer, your fasting, your charity all look like in the form of one person saying to you, I am your good deeds and I'm here to give you good news.